Hey everyone, welcome to the Shoe U. I'm your host Alex. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight we are launching something brand new, and I thought that this would be something fun because we're not playing basketball right now, not going to the gyms because they're still closed, so I can't do any performance reviews or any real first impressions. So I thought, let's launch a tournament. Yes, you heard that right, a tournament where we are comparing shoes, going head to head. And as you can see tonight, we have a couple heavy hitters. These are the Kobe 1 Protros against the Kobe 4 Protros. This is just round one. We have 16 teams, I guess you could call them, or shoes, which results in 8 matchups. So you could call this the quarterfinals. With the NBA playoffs going on right now as well, I thought, hey, let's get after it. Let's get some type of playoffs going on, if you will. So this is quarterfinals. I don't know, 1 versus 8 seed. I don't know if you can call it that, but I thought, let's have these, the same shoe lines going head to head as much as we can. That way we get as much variety as possible in the later stages. In terms of what I'm looking at, I am doing the same thing like I was with the final exam videos. Traction, which is arguably the most important component when you're playing on the court. Secondly, are the materials that make up the shoe. And then third and final point of emphasis is price efficiency, because you want to know what you're paying. You want to see, what makes up the shoe in terms of what you're paying for it. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. So the traction, guys, here we go. It's really tough. I can show you guys really quickly. The bottom's here. My cameraman will get some close-ups later on. But as you can see, very similar setups with the herringbone. This is really tough. I'm still, right now, thinking about which shoe has the better traction, because the Kobe 1 Protros, it's legendary. Even on the original Kobe 1s that came out 13, 14 years ago, they were really good and rock solid. The Kobe 4s, it's a little bit more personal with me because I grew up playing in them in high school and they were terrific. But if I had to give an edge, and it's very slight, it's very close, going with the Kobe 4 Protros right here, because although they collect a lot of dust, you can see these guys are fairly dirty on the bottom. They just perform so good on all the courts. Now the Kobe 1 Protro does the same. This is just it's like a photo finish if you know NASCAR, if you watch racing. It's one of those where it's really narrow, and you can't go wrong with either one of these guys if you're going for the traction. The Kobe 1 Protro is really good. I just like these guys a little more. So the traction is going to the Kobe 4 Protros. So component number 2, the materials of the shoe. I think this is a lot easier. It's going to the Kobe 1 Protros, and here's why. The whole origin point of performance retros, right, which is Protro shortened, is to have innovation, improvements from how a shoe was originally when it first came out. And they did that with these Kobe 1 Protros, adding just a whole bunch of stuff to it. Full-length Zoom Air, I believe, is what's in them now. Improved materials in the upper. Just a phenomenal shoe all-around wise that improved upon the originals. With the Kobe 4 Protros, you're getting basically the same thing that came out in 2008. Or maybe a little less impressive. You just have this Zoom Air unit in the heel, which was identical to what the Kobe 4s were when they released. That turned a lot of people off. I didn't get that annoyed by that because I like these shoes so much, but I can totally understand it being a haggling point. So that was disappointing. There's just not a lot of innovation, not a lot of updating that went into the Kobe 4 Protros. So if we're looking at materials, guys, I think you got to give it to the Kobe 1 Protros because of all the updating that Nike did to this shoe. Alright, so the third and final category is price efficiency. Now, both of these guys retailed at $175, so you're paying roughly the same amount. Obviously, now both of these shoes are sold out, so you have to go on to StockX or GOAT to find a pair of these. But we're doing it from the perspective of what it was when it first came out. And look, it's really a toss-up to me. Again, you have the Kobe 1 Protros that really did a good job of changing things up, and you're getting your money's worth out of them. However, I feel like you can get more out of your money's worth, and you'll be more happy with the Kobe 4 Protros because of the silhouette of the shoe, the makeup, of how the shoe fits as well. I just feel like a low-top shoe, it's really comfortable. it does everything a little bit better than the Kobe 1 Protros for the money that you pay for it. Again, it's really, you could go either way with it, but again, in a photo finish, I'm giving it to the Kobe 4 Protros because it's hard to find a good low top basketball shoe nowadays. That's how I feel. You know, the Kobe 1 Protros are more of your traditional mid to high top, and there are lots of good options in that regard. But even though you have to pay premium money for them, I do firmly believe that the Kobe 4 Protros, you get your money's worth out of them. Alright, so with the buzzer beater victory, it is the Kobe 4 Protros that outlast the Kobe 1s because there's just something about this shoe that I really like. It's comfortable, it performs well, it's quick to break in. Yes, it's a lot of money, but I love the shoe, and it's a really good performer. And again, these are what I wore in high school, so when they came back, it was a sense of nostalgia, if you will. So I really like these guys. They advanced to the next round of our basketball shoe, the Shoe U basketball shoe tournament, whatever you want to call it. But this is a good way to start it off. I love these guys, just barely though. It's really close. So let me know in the comments section if you guys have played in them. Do you agree? Do you like the Kobe 4 Protros more than the Kobe 1s? And if not, what do you like about these guys that you didn't like here? Let me know. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Hey everyone, I know I said that was the end of the video, but I wanted to show you the look at the bracket. So as you can see in the upper left hand corner, the Kobe 4s prevailed over the Kobe 1s. Next up, we will have the Kyrie Low 2s against the Kyrie 6. It's going to be a lot of fun. As you can see, there are a lot of shoes and it's going to be very competitive, but I just wanted to give you guys this visual here so you have an idea of what we're looking at and just a scope of how many shoes we are testing. And again, in the next video, we'll be doing the Kyrie Low 2s against the Kyrie 6. See you guys then.